Yo, yo, yo. Mic on, mic on. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know,
All
right?
right. I'll be
That's one
happening
of
all the
the
time when you wanted to.
yeah, that's one of the worst things, man. You start a show and it's like you spewing so much good stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like we can't hear you.
Facts, facts. Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna give it a couple minutes to let more people join, man. Shout out to y'all who are joining early, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, or IG. We
Sure.
appreciate you. Got a really good show tonight. Got a really special guest tonight, man. I'm gonna share this with a couple people on IG. Uh, 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 uh. Hold up. No wonder this shit ain't working.
What happened? What happened?
I'm on the silently growing page, wondering why I ain't got no people to send this
He
to.
said, like, what in the... He said they blackballed me already? He said, God dang.
I was like, all we doing
That's
is
funny.
giving the good information out there. What happened already?
That's funny.
Here we go. Now we're in the right section. All right. So now let's send this out to a couple people.
Trying to hit, trying to text someone to say, I don't know if he sees these.
Yeah, we got a minute.
Yeah, we got a little, I don't know. I think he went through the whole show.
Yeah.
Trying to text him.
Yeah, we got Ramel joining around like 8:25, 8:30. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
anybody who's joining early to see the man himself, it's just a heads up. All right, so got that out. Shout out to TKA in the building. Appreciate you joining real quick, man. Doing a lot of really good work over there with the Nola Road podcast, man. Shout out to you. If y'all get a chance, go check out that episode we did with them. Really, really good stuff, man. Shout out. Got Keith in the building early. Keith, what's going on? Tanya, only Mrs. Lee in the building. Appreciate y'all joining early. Early vibes. Yo, man, I feel bad that I was talking so much smack about the weather because now it's starting to like that fall, that slow cold creep is starting to come in.
Mm-hmm.
I left the house on Wednesday without a suit jacket or Tuesday without a suit jacket, and it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to run to the train. Luckily, coming back home, things were a bit smoother, so that actually worked out. But yeah, man, it's fall is creeping up real slowly.
Not mad at that. I'm Fall Guys, layer time, you know what I'm saying? It's for the people, for the non-dressers to sit down. You know what I'm saying? It's time for everybody. You know, it's fashion week out here too. It's time to put the layers on, you know what I'm saying? It's time to put get your scarves out, you know what I'm saying? Get your cardigans out. You know how it go. You got the three-piece suits now, so, you know, you gotta let them know, man.
Yeah.
It's layer time.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, absolutely. And hey, listen, I'm a big fan of hoodies. It gives me another reason to throw on the FCP hoodie, represent everywhere we go. You know, y'all can always stop by the FCP shop, get you a hoodie. It's that season, y'all.
Yeah. Keith always coming through early with the cracks, man. You gotta be careful.
Listen. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that I bees in the gym, son. Everything fits nice. I can't help it. Can't help it, man. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get one of them photos of Keith with his bike buddies. You know what I'm saying? If you think my clothes are tight, man, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't get him out there with the speedos. No, you can't do that to him.
I'm just saying, bro. You know what I mean? If we're gonna go there, we gotta go there.
You gotta take the back blocks with the band-aids on the chest.
Big facts. Oh man, but let's get right into it. I think the first place we could start is, you know, we did a voter registration drive at my job last week, and for the most part, most people are registered, but we found out that there was a lot of like new physicians that actually aren't registered to vote. And it's pretty interesting. They were stopping and they were like, you know what? I always thought I could just vote, but I didn't know like I had to register. And they were there like, all right, take this form. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna, do all of this. We had the QR codes there for them to scan so they could do it online, get everything all set up and be ready to go. So that was interesting. And I think another site did a really cool thing helping people check on their registration status, just to make sure that they still have, the same capabilities, flexibilities. But just sharing information, you can always check the New York Voters Registration Lookup tool. Make sure you know your status. Make sure you can get more information. I believe the absentee ballot deadlines information is going to be on there as well. I believe the last day to register is like October 25th, 26th. So you want to make sure you got all your information in on time so you could be a part of deciding who's going to run this country for the next 4 years.
Make sure you vote correctly. We are here. Kamala standees over here, just letting y'all know. That's up. Standing on business. But yeah, it's a lot been going on this week, man. With the kids these days, with the FaceTime and always video chatting, like that's the only form of communication that they like to deal with, unless it's texting, right? But earlier this week, I'm on the phone with my wife. Then my oldest daughter calls me. So I was like, "Oh, babe, I'm gonna conference you in." Then, she was at work, I was at work, but I'll conference you in so we both can talk to her at the same time. So I switch over. Hey, babe, what's going on? She goes, hey, what's going on? Then my wife comes. She goes, "Hey, babe, what's up?" And Savannah freaks out. She's like, "Wait, y'all off today?" I said, No, we at work. Like, "Oh, yeah, at mom's shop?" No. Wait, so she's at your job. We're like, no. We just having a, regular. She's like, "How are y'all not together talking to me?" I'm like, "Oh, baby, this is called a conference call." You know what I'm saying? She's like, "Yeah, but we can't see each other." I'm like, "Oh, no, that's just a FaceTime." All right. Whew. All right. Before Zoom, right? There was ways that we could all talk to each other and be in different places. They call conference calls. She's like, "Oh, wow. I was about to go crazy in school." I was like, "Oh, nah. Stay calm, stay in class. It's not that serious. But why are you picking up the phone during class anyway? And what do you need?" You know what I'm saying? We have to get to the meat of the conversation at that point.
Yeah.
The kids don't know what a conference call is, man.
Yeah. Anytime you got to break down like old stuff that used to happen, man, it's a tough process. It's a really tough process. But that's funny.
That's crazy. Funny. Kids don't know nothing about conference calls. But she was gonna crash out of school because she didn't know what we was gonna do. But I was thinking about over the weekend. Sometimes my wife calls me from the job, and you have people on your phone with multiple numbers, but they all come up with the same name. Like somebody got a house phone, work phone, cell phone. You don't really pay much mind because you just see the name. The other day, my wife calls my phone. Guy's there. Goes, "Hey, is this I'm like, "Hello?" He says, "Wrong number." It hangs up, but it says wife on the phone. Right? So now I'm like, do I gotta crash out on a Tuesday? Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, so now I'm going back into the phone, and now I'm like double checking, like I just spoke to like a half hour ago. Who the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm looking. It says, it says wife work number. I was like, she called me from the desk the other day. Somebody might have hit me. I turned the engine off and shit. Went back into the office. It's all right. This crash out, it could be avoided, but you gotta put different photos for different numbers on people just to be safe out there. Be careful.
Big facts. Oh, homie would have caught it straight for no reason, man.
No reason. Hit the read button by accident.
Yep. Hell yeah. So it's funny, right? Like you're talking about the kids. Like, of course, today is my son's birthday. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him an official shout out in a minute. But today is his birthday, so every year, my wife sends cupcakes for him and his classmates to enjoy. Right. So she gets a text from the teacher. Teacher's like, "Good morning. The cupcakes are so beautiful. Thank you. We will celebrate him. Block 6 today." Now, at first my wife was like, "Thank you so much. I put the flavor on top." You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no things on there that could give kids allergies or whatever. "I hope you all enjoy." Then it sits for a minute. And she's like, what does block 6 mean? You know what I mean? Like,
no penitentiary or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you mean by block 6? Like, my son's supposed to be in class, not nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, on block 6, like, that sounds like something else. So the teacher sends back the laughing emoji. She's like, it is just the time of day we will have our little party. He chose the end of the day, so the last hour of school in his school is called block 6.
All right, no harm, no foul. But they gotta understand that sounds crazy over the phone with no introduction.
No context, no nothing. Like I know my son is thinning out, but I didn't know my man was like in the yard. You know what I'm saying? Like he's supposed to be going to get his education.
Wasn't doing all that. I don't like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but we straighten that out real quick, man. Real quick. All right, so just a quick shift, man. First, we're gonna go over and shout out everybody that's joining us, man. Shout out to everybody on IG. I see a lot of people here in the building, man. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Tanya, Keith, Chef Cheryl, D in the building, SKL, my man Young, Keith Howell, Sunshine, Sono Moses, man. Appreciate all y'all joining from all the platforms. Real quick recognitions. We lost a lot of people over the last 2 weeks, man. The first one we're going to talk about, of course, is, this is one of the most prominent voices in movies, in theater, James Earl Jones, man. R.I.P. to him.
Mustafa, man. I wasn't ready for this. But, he was 93.
Yeah.
I'm not, hey. You know what I mean? He lived a good one, but R.I.P., man, for sure.
Absolutely. And then, man, I believe it was this week, man, Tito Jackson. Lost Tito. Definitely sending some recognition to him, one of the Jackson 5. Yeah, music history right there, man.
They always had jokes on Tito, but he was nice, man. He was nice with the guitar. You know what I mean? They go, Michael, don't get me wrong, Mike was Mike. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else was, the light just wasn't as bright, but Tito, he held his own back there.
Absolutely. And then this next one, man, this is our era, cookouts, you know what I mean? Frankie Beverly, Before I Let Go. I think I played Before I Let Go like 30 times this day because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care how old you were. If you were at the cookout, this was the joint where everybody moved. And I think to this day, if you play this song, any of his songs anywhere, it moves the crowd, man.
I don't even like going to parties if it's not on the playlist. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'm at that age now. Like if this ain't on at no point during the function, it's probably not my place to be. You need that. You need that.
Definitely, man. So just wanted to send that recognition to those people we lost, man. But yeah, as tough as it is to lose people, you should recognize and love yours while they're here. So just sending a happy belated birthday to my mother-in-law. She is the life of the party, man. We had a really great weekend with her. Wife actually took another shot at the curry chicken, and she did a good job, brother. You would have liked it.
Yeah, we almost Tupperware ready. Let me know. We almost there. Let me know.
You know what I'm saying? And then mother-in-law came through with the pernil on Saturday. So yeah, man, Sunday I was finished. I had no room for nothing. I just needed a long rest, a lot of water, hydration. But that was the weekend. And then of course, man, today, my young king, my heart in human form, my man Darius. Listen, this kid has been through so much. If you have never tuned into this podcast before, my son is, diagnosed with autism. There was a point when we thought this kid would never talk to us. We didn't know what his future would look like. And when I tell you to this day, he continues to impress, to exceed everything that my wife and I thought he would do and so much more. He's the kindest kid you'll ever meet. But he's got a phone now, Kenny. He's got his own phone. And we're on the fence about it because we want him, to have a sense of responsibility. We want him to be able to have his own personal contact with his family members, with his friends. But this, man, you've been down this road twice already, about to hit the third. What was it like getting your kid their first phone?
It's still nerve-wracking, you know what I'm saying? Because Google exists, you know what I'm saying? And as a parent, you want to answer every question your kids have.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's $25 a line now. Everybody got phones. Like, you know what I'm saying? They could just Google some shit if they get curious enough, you know what I'm saying? So you try to make sure they're not too curious and try to answer questions when they get there, but it's nerve wracking, man. But what's
Yeah.
going on your side, man? New phone, new rules, man. Did you have some ground rules you have to, you know what I mean? You and Shay have to make sure it was established upon. Hey, before we let this phone go, a couple of things got to get, we got to get across.
Oh yeah. Number one, you know what I'm saying, you can't take it to school yet. We gotta give him some time to realize, the responsibility of having the phone. This kid, the old line, right? You would lose your head if it wasn't attached to your body. I know my mother told me that like every other day. And this kid, he leaves everything at school. But the other thing was, the phone came before the case. So we're like, you got to be very careful with how you handle the phone. You know what I'm saying? Kenny, it ain't been 6 hours. This boy had the phone. He already dropped it. Me and Shay instantly looked at him like 12 is where you're done. You know what I mean? Like, you're not seeing 13. And the way it fell, bro. The way it fell, I thought the phone was split in two.
He's like, did we get the insurance? Did we get the insurance?
the look me and my wife gave each other like, we gonna kill him. We gonna kill him. He ain't gonna make it to 13.
Man. After you gave him the rules, though, was there any like backlash? Any like any negotiations? Like maybe Fridays?
He was a little upset about not being able to bringing the phone to school. He's like, y'all don't trust me, and we're like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you 12.
that hurt hearing out loud, right?
You got to earn trust around here. You just got the phone. We expect you to just hand it to you so you can take it with your friends and be like, "Ooh, look at this," and drop it 4 times at school. Like, if we were to let him take that phone to school, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have made it back. And if it did make it back, it wouldn't have been in the same condition at all, man.
I can see him now. I came back here. This kid wanted it for $200, so I gave it to him. It made sound like a good deal. I'm like, he's making money. He's just flipping on the arm. Listen, man, let me talk to you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. What's up? One last question for it. When the phone was given, did the chores around the house increase, or same rules apply around the crib too?
Same rules apply for now, and he's been good. You know what I mean? We gave him the dishes. He traded that for bathroom cleanup. I was a little surprised at that, but I'll take it. You know what I mean? And with that excitement, right? So he's got the phone. So he's like, let me come home, do my chores first so I could get on the phone. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, did you do your homework? He's like, yeah, I already took care of that. Like, I dedicated all this time so I can see my new phone, explore it, all that. Like, the kid is smart, man. He came home prepared. He knocked out everything so he could just get into his leisure time. It was dope.
Chores is done. Lickety split now. That's what's up.
Definitely.
Keep him strong. Keep him strong.
Absolutely. And I see D sharing some information on IG. Life 360, share the location. I have control of your phone. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure the wife is going to be on top of that.
Amen with that.
All right. So I believe it was the Emmys last night or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So being that it is Hispanic Heritage Month, it's officially begun. No matter where you're from in the world, feel free to throw your flag in the chat. I'm representing Panama all day, every day. Shout out to Liza Colon Zayas from the show The Bear on Hulu. She won her Emmy last night. She is amazing on that show. If you've never seen it, you watch her growth in the show as far as, where she's at in the kitchen to where she's at now and the opportunity being afforded to her. And it's a great lesson for anybody in leadership who's looking on how to really coach up and create opportunity for underrepresented communities. But shout out to her. She's an amazing actress.
They cleaned up last night too, man. They won a few awards. That's what's up.
Big facts. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about some events that's going to be happening throughout our health system. Shout out to Katari Villanueva. She's one of my colleagues. She was able to coordinate a conversation with the freestyle queen, Judy Torres. That's going to be happening on October 9th. Man, I don't know how she pulled them strings. But that everybody in the institution is like, what? Like, I love her. My mother used to listen to her all the time when she was cleaning on Saturdays. Like, it's amazing. So, yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to her getting it done.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we got some flags in here. I see Dominican Republic. I see Barbados. Like, yeah, man. All right, all right.
Outside, outside. All right.
Good to go. Good to go, man. And then of course, Day of Diversity. This is going to be really cool, man. We're going to be doing diversity mapping. It's sometimes very cool to see where everybody's from in your job. If you've never done this before, you pretty much just set up a world map, have people stop by, put a star or a pin where they're from, and you get a good idea of, oh wow, we got a lot of people from this area. You know what I mean? So now, it's just a way for everybody to build that sense of community. But we're also going to have somebody doing musical therapy, man. We have a guy who works in the system who's actually a studio recording artist. And he's going to have like some musical sounds that people could listen to. And he's going to compile that into a beat that people can then take away on their mobile devices. So we'll see how that goes.
Something new every week, man. I can't. It's hard to keep up. Musical therapy.
Yeah.
Does he have? I'm gonna got to be a licensed therapist or a licensed musician in order to run this course. If you want to charge for it. Interesting. Interesting. Right.
We got one more flag on IG, man. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Only Mrs. Lee. I see you. All right. So as we move things along, because I know everybody's here to hear from the guru himself, Ramel. Real quick comments on a conference I attended on Saturday. It was Hope in Harlem Conference. They are doing some really, really amazing things for the youth out there in Harlem in regards to mental health and wellness. We've spoken a lot of stats on this show about the impact on the youth. And one of the things that Dr. Sidney Hankerson, as you see him here, this guy's the real deal. When I tell you, he is the second opinion that anybody in the NBA, if any of those players have any issues, the NBA sends them to him. And when I tell you the White House quotes in regards to mental health comes from this man as well. Bad brother. He was given some staggering stats about how from about 2022 to 2012, the percentage of Black and Latino males that are committing suicide or considering suicide is over 100%. It's grown tremendously. And then we know 2020 compounded that because now it shifted that social anxiety, forcing kids to have to stay home, no longer go to school, no longer be able to really interact in person with their friends. But it was really a great conference. Dr. Lena Green, she's the director over there at First Corinthian Baptist Church and the program that they're doing. She's amazing as well. And you can see the panelists here, man. Derek Anderson, I watched this guy play for a very long time, but I did not know how amazing of a story he had. That guy went through a lot. When I say a lot, a lot. We're talking about mother abandoned him, got addicted to drugs. His father left him when he was young. And to have the fortitude, having a kid at such a young age to still make it to college, never drink, never smoke, have a pretty decent career, win an NCAA championship, NBA championship, and now be giving back in this way. Tremendous. Just phenomenal. And then and then Dr. William Parham. This guy, he is, I believe, in charge. He's the director of mental health and wellness for the NBA. And this guy dropped so many lines on us, man. He was talking about mental health is your mental wealth. I mean, that line in itself is a bar. But the line that I really liked from him was the true meaning of listen is in the actual word if you move the letters around a bit.
Say it again.
The true meaning of listen is in the word if you move the letters around a bit. And I'm going to look in the chat and see if anybody can figure out what I'm talking about. Shout out to Mr. Prez 95 in the building, man. Appreciate you, man. See Antigua's in the building. Shout out. But I'm gonna let that sit. See if anybody in the chat can guess what I'm talking about. But it was so amazing. He also said another line where he said, "You need to cancel your subscription to other people's issues." Kenny, I sat back and was like,
I can stand on that. I can stand on that. That's a very underpaid job. You can't be showing up monthly for that.
oh my God. Oh my, I was like, preach, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, you can see this was just like a regular Saturday to him, just dropping gems left and right, man. But this was an amazing, amazing conference. And so the word that's in listen is silent. And his point was pretty much, it is very difficult to embrace any message from anybody and have a true understanding of someone's issues if you are not silent and actively listening. And I think the whole place just kind of was like, you heard the all across, you know what I mean? Like, it was like a bar, like,
that's the part of the rap battle where everybody make the face like, ooh.
You know, ooh, Don DeMarco, all that.
That's what's up. Two ends, one mouth for a reason, man. Preach.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then Natasha Hastings, amazing Olympic champion, sprinter, I believe. She's now a licensed therapist and giving back to the community because, and we talk about this all the time. I don't know if Keith is still on, but there's not enough representation as far as underrepresented communities in the physician fields. Just look at psychiatry with Dr. Sidney Hankerson. A lot of the times, if we want to have a really thought-provoking conversation in our system with a psychiatric physician, he's like one of the few people we could call. There's only like one more person that we could contact. So all around great conference, man. Loved it. And, you know, can't wait to see what they do going forward. Ready to get involved, ready to be a part of it. Amazing, man. Just truly amazing.
What's up, bro? Do they do that every year?
It's the second annual time. So they've done it twice already.
All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Was a lot of kids out there too, or mostly like adults?
So that's the amazing thing about it. I wish more kids were there to hear the story because they actually brought up two girls. One was a sophomore in high school. The other one was a junior. One played softball. The other one played volleyball. And these young ladies were so well spoken, speaking well beyond their years. And it was just amazing to see that. So you would like for other kids to see that there is potential for them to be just as good, if not better, if they apply themselves and put themselves around the right people. So yeah, definitely. I mean, we are at 8:30, man. I think we should just bring up Ramel at this point, get this conversation started. I don't know if he's around.
I think he's getting patted outside. Gotta make sure. Send him through. Make sure he all right, man. Make sure he get back there.
Yes, sir.
For those that don't know, Ramel Lee just completed one of the latest episode, Green and Cage Podcast, episode 91, Beyond Business. If you didn't see it, it's out there. Go catch that. Pretty good episode. We did it. We did it with him. But no further ado, man. Is he ready? Is he here? Yeah,
he's it.
Yeah,
man.
There you go. There you go. Mr. Ramel, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, good evening, everyone.
How you doing?
What's going on, man? We got you out on a Wednesday night. Appreciate you making the time, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. We're getting towards my bedtime, but you know, it's but I had a cup of coffee, so I should be good.
Gotcha. That's the savor, man. That's the savor. So first of all, amazing interview, man. Amazing conversation. Like Kenny said, after this show, if you haven't checked out episode 91 Beyond Business, make sure you go check it out. I think the first place I'd like to start, man, because we heard over this week that Amazon, at least in their corporate sector, is bringing back their employees into the office. And, you know, that's a whole nother subject we could get into. But we know that you've had, you know, some business dealings with Amazon, man. And just wanted you to talk a little bit about how you ended up landing in that field in business with Amazon real quick.
Well, the partnership I have with Amazon was part of their delivery service partnership. All these Amazon vans you see driving around, the Amazon delivery drivers, those are all privately owned companies. They're just branded with Amazon and they work with Amazon. So you order something on Amazon, they do their alakazam, get it from some factory in China to their warehouse to you in like 3 hours. I don't know how they do that part, but the person who actually brings the package to your home worked for a company like mine that I own, RDL Logistics Solutions, and it's a program. So back in 2018, I honestly I was on Instagram and it was one of the ads and said, hey, would you like to work with Amazon? I'm like, duh, who doesn't want to work with Amazon? So I applied, and initially they turned me down, but I paid it no mind. I had the security company, it was going well. And then I was in the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program and learning how, coming up with a growth plan for the security company. And that program ended February 2020. World shut down like the next week, right? So I left Goldman Sachs program with, all right, my security company go do $50 million next year, and then the world shut down. And that was like a week after the program. Then a week after that, Amazon reached out and they say, hey, are you still interested? I was like, yeah, I'm still interested. So they flew me out to Vegas. They interviewed me and everything. Before I got on a plane back to New York, they sent me a congratulations email, and we got up and running June 2020. Started with 5 vans, eventually ramped up. That holiday season, we ramped up to about 45 vans. It was like the Wild West, man. Packages everywhere. I was out delivering packages. I think that year, I think I lost 15 pounds in like 3 months. Like it was a lot.
Working.
My mother saw me and she cooked the meal and she was like, "My baby's fading away," and so but that's how I got to that.
That's great. That's great, man. And that's amazing, right? I think it was Winston Churchill that said, you never let a crisis go to waste. So you were able to take that moment in time and turn it into, a need that people had, but also a benefit for your business. So that's great. One of the lines that really stick out from our conversation that still really stick with me, Ramel, is money is just a scorekeeper. Now, people are going to have to go watch the episode to get the foundation behind that line. But can you give the people a little insight into what that statement means to you?
I mean, for me, we use money to buy things. That's how we transact, right? Before money, I trade you these 3 goats for those 30 chickens, right? But then someone said, hey, if we come up with money, you can keep your goats and get the chickens, right? So, but ultimately, for me, money, I say is a scorekeeper because it lets you know how well you're running your business. If you're making money, if you're increasing your revenue, that means you're running a good business. If you're losing money, that means there's a problem somewhere in your business. And now you got to deep dive and start looking for, where the problem is and how can you fix it. And, so that's why the short of what I mean by money is the great scorekeeper.
Nice. Now, like as far as keeping score, right? We all learned how to keep score with money involved when we were young, playing Monopoly. I'm not gonna lie, like we wasn't winning a lot against you as we were younger. You know what I'm saying? But now as you have gotten older, like, are you teaching these Monopoly analogies and tips to the kids? Like, what are you doing with Monopoly these days?
Yeah.
Well, I developed a bad reputation in the family with Monopoly. No one really wants to play with me.
I'd go play solitaire. It was
What the
Yeah,
spades at? What the spades at?
I think they might break it out when I like go away or something. They're like, "Ooh, we could finally play and have fun doing it." But as far as teaching money, my son and I, we started a book club, him and I,
Mm.
and we've read books that that teach about money and stuff. So far we've read The Richest Man in Babylon, we've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and so and kind of like relating the concepts to what he's going through and seeing if he understands the concepts and stuff like that that are in those books. I'll take them when it's appropriate. I'll take him to meetings that I have and or certain operations that I have going on, and just so he could kind of see it and hear the language. And he's usually checked out during the meetings, but I'll check in with him afterwards, and he quietly pays attention. He quietly pays attention. So why he won't play Monopoly with me, but we find other ways to learn about money in the house.
Like I'll play with you these days until you get your first hotel. Then I might like, yeah, you know what? Look at the time. Yeah, it's time for me to get by. Yeah, I'm running out of money. It's time for me to get up out of here. He got one on boardwalk now. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah.
I think I see Monopoly with Bitcoin now. It's like, whoa.
Oh wow. Yeah, the game has changed. The game has changed, man. And it's great that you bring that up because this show also falls on our dad series, right? So that's really cool about that. The one thing that sticks out to me when you tell that story is exposure, and at an early age. Just a while ago, we were talking about how there's a program out in Harlem where they're working with the youth in regards to mental health and wellness. And you can only imagine that now you as a father are taking your son under your wing to expose him to the things that, potentially we're not usually exposed to from where we're from. So you're already changing the trajectory of his mindset just from doing something as simple as that. So that's amazing to hear, man. So
During good.
yeah. So as we went into the conversation, you had also dropped another line that I love, which was people try to turn their passion into a business and they become emotionally attached to it and don't listen to the numbers. And we love to talk about on this show about emotional intelligence, being self-aware about how we react to certain things, but also in how we manage our relationships with people. How has that helped you be able to maintain your performance as a businessman?
What, the emotional intelligence side?
Yeah.
It's they say emotional intelligence is like EQ versus IQ, and EQ would be IQ anytime, right? You can be the smartest person in the world, but unless you plan on doing everything yourself, you need people, and you need people to follow you if you're going to lead. You need people that's going to buy into what you're doing, and in order to get that, you have to be able to relate to them. You have to meet them where they are. Especially as a business owner, no one is going to care more about your business than you do, right? You created it. It's your money in it. People, they buy into you as a person. They buy into the mission of your business, but you have to be able to meet these people where they are and, influence them, and the way you do that is by, listening to them, learning them, understanding them, hearing them, not always wanting to dictate and direct. You and people want to be heard. They want their opinions to matter. They want their voices to count. I'm a big proponent of the personality test. Like the DISC. Carl Jung, all that stuff that kind of gives you someone's personality types, because it teaches you how to communicate with them. You know, people have different personality types, and the type of communication you give to them, their personality type will depend on how they receive it. You know, and also it's generational. You know, if you're dealing with older people, they want you to pick up the phone and call them. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear you speak. When you're dealing with young people, they don't want you. Just send me a message, send me a text. I mean, you know, I'm sure probably some places to send me a DM. You know, and then don't call me. If you call me, you're bothering me. You're interrupting me. You're gonna annoy me. And it's not necessarily they're trying to be rude. It's just that's where they are generationally, and with emotional intelligence you get to learn and understand that about people and meet them where they're at. So if you're working with people, you have to understand them to be able to communicate with them.
Makes a ton of sense. As far as working with people, another good gem you dropped during the show was your network will determine your net worth. Can you speak on any like prominent chapters or chambers you might have joined throughout your tenure where you felt like your network is really going to start building up your net worth?
I mean, your network, you build your network through all different facets, or you know, meeting people. um you know, that's why it's also an important thing to treat everyone you meet well, right? You never know who in your network is going to be able to help you out one day. um
Mhm.
I think a big mistake though people do make when networking is they network for themselves. You know, they
Mm,
network with the idea of, "Oh, I'm going to find somebody to help me do this, or I need someone to help me
Mhm.
do that." And successful people see that a mile away, right? And they really have no interest in you, right? They're successful. They're looking for people who can help them, right? And so, you know, when you go to network, you should network with the idea in mind of, you know, how can I add value to someone else? How can I add value to someone else's business? How can I add value to someone else's situation? If you network with that in mind and you actually add value to someone else, they'll bend over backwards to help you out if they have associations, things like that. Excuse me. And uh, and meet a lot of great people. But when I network with them, I always try to network with them in mind. All right, oh, this person's really good. You know, what can I do to help them? What can I do to add value to what they have going on? And and people really after that they look to pay you back. They look to see what you're into, to see how they can pay you back, and it's a beautiful thing in the long run.
Nice, nice. 'Cause I know you spent time at Noble as one of the presidents for a good time, and that network is a plentiful one. If you know, what I mean, if used correctly, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
Between that,
I'm still a member of Noble, which is stands for
okay, okay,
National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives.
okay.
I'm currently the immediate past president. I was president of the New York chapter for a couple of
Mm,
years. Great organization. You know, that organization is dedicated to uh, you know, being the conscience of law enforcement. You know, really trying to bridge the gap between the police and communities of color.
mm,
They're uniquely positioned to do that because they're black law enforcement officers. So and executives at that. They're black, you know, supervisors, black managers, black chiefs in these law
nice.
enforcement agencies, and they work towards you know, really trying to uh, you know, get the police and the community on the same page. You know, yeah, you hear a lot of talk about defund the police and stuff like that from people, and I don't think they necessarily mean that. I don't think the majority of those people mean that we don't need police. I think
Mhm.
a majority of it means we need to spend money on curing some of these social ills. Police, over the time, and I think what causes, aside for the individually bigoted people, I think what has happened over time is police have come the catch-all for all of society's failures, right? They're everywhere. They work 24/7. My cat's in the tree. Call a cop. My uncle's having a mental health episode. Call a cop. I got into a car accident. Call a cop. Right. So it's really whenever the what's supposed to happen breaks down, you call a cop. And I think a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, that's great for an emergency, but some of these problems should never happen. If we spent more money on animal control, your cat wouldn't be in a tree. If we spent more money on mental health care, your uncle wouldn't be having this mental health episode. And then you wouldn't have these interactions between police who ultimately have to protect the public and themselves. That's the first line of business. And then worry about actually fixing the problem and getting the person help. And sometimes we don't get to that point. And and Noble, is on the forefront of making these changes in law enforcement to better the community. On the networking side, being a part of Noble's helped me out a lot. For RDL Security Solutions, I got called. Someone called me. I don't even know where they got my number from, the business number. They called me and said, "Hey, I have an author, a Muslim woman, wrote a controversial book, and was receiving death threats and was coming to the United States for a national book tour. And they said, hey, can your security company protect her around the country?" And I said, yeah, of course, right? Because I'm a person that I say yes, and then I figure it out, right? That's just how I'm wired. Yeah, I could protect this woman from, who knows, Al Qaeda in the United States. I said, yeah. So I'm saying, how am I going to protect this person, all over the country? And I'm based in New York, and I'm not following her around the country. And so I said, wait a minute, I got my Noble network. So I looked at all the cities that she had to go to. I called the chapters in all those cities, and a lot of security companies are owned by current or former law enforcement people, and I got a security company in every one of those cities to protect her, and booked the tour, and she had a safe and successful national book tour.
What's up?
My man was ready to go Liam Nielsen. Like, I got a particular set of skills. I got you no matter where you go.
What's up? Quick take back. I know you said right before the pandemic hit, you was able to achieve the Goldman Sachs 10K alum status. How was that actual program though? From an outsider going in, did you have a little bit of a clue of how intense the program would be? Was you like shell shocked?
It was another one of those things where I say, yeah, I'll do it, and then figured out, what I was getting myself into. I'm also on the advisory board of the Richmond County Minority Chamber of Commerce. So someone, a representative of the program, came to pitch the program. It was free, so right away that was like great. Said what the requirements were. I signed up. I applied for it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they say they really only take 1 to 3% of all the people that apply for it. And I got accepted into the program. And it was life-changing. I mean, it was like getting a crash MBA course, over the course of maybe, I believe it was 6 months. And they brought in like professors from like Wharton Business School. They brought in people that, had running businesses that were doing 9 figures. They were, and we were getting practical stuff like you were getting homework, assignments, projects. but they were all working on your current business. So you were getting things and able to apply them and seeing them work in real time, and then coming back, the next week and learning more. The alumni network is amazing. The people in my cohort, we still communicate, we still see each other. I've been to their businesses. They've helped me with some things on mine. It was really a life-changing program for me.
That's what's up, man. I'm really glad you could go into that, because we know networking can be a bit of a challenge for some people. It's like, how do I enter rooms? How do I start conversations? How do I prepare for situations like this? So you being able to share that story, it shares the value of doing it. And it's either day one or one day you choose, right? So I'm glad that you could share that. Now,
Not to cut you up, but like, especially like with networking, right? Believe it or not, I'm not really an extrovert, right? I'm not good with new people and people I don't know. Networking used to, and it still is, like a challenge for me, like going to a place and with the purpose of networking. What I've learned to do is create a networking plan, a networking goal. So I go to a place and I say, I'm going to leave with 5 contacts of people that I never met before. There's 5 people I'm going to meet that and leave with their information and learn something about them that I never met before. When I'm here, I'm not going to talk to anyone that I already know for longer than 10 minutes. Like, because you already know them, right? If you're going to a place to network, me and you can talk anytime. Like, I'm coming here to meet new people. And you go in there, and if you create goals, you go from like being nervous to talking to people and introducing yourself to people to, all right, I have to accomplish this goal, right? I only spoke to 2 people. I only spoke to 3 people. And believe it or not, most of the people in the networking place are nervous about meeting new people. So you won't be on your own. They will actually be relieved for you to come up to them and introduce yourself. And, so that's definitely a strategy for networking, that if you're not too comfortable with it, that you could use.
Definitely, man. I hope y'all wrote that down.
Right.
That's free game for y'all on a Wednesday. All right, man. So let us into RD Lee Capital Partners boardroom, man. We know that there's some pretty valuable conversations, some big moves, and I can imagine your storyboard is probably a roadmap towards the billions. Can you let us know what's next, man? Any acquisitions coming up? Any big moves?
So right now, we're just finalizing our SEC compliance. Because the type of fund we're launching is called a Regulation CF. And so it's more highly regulated than other funds, because we're taking money, we're giving opportunities to non-accredited investors to invest in the fund. So there's a few more regulatory hurdles, because the SEC wants to make sure you're not squeezing, poor people out of their last couple of dollars, right? And it's perfectly understandable, and I'm fully on board. So I want to make sure before we even give anyone an opportunity to give us $1 that we have all our compliance, all our auditing, everything intact. Not just for compliance, but to keep us from making any honest mistakes as well, right? We want us to be a steward that you can trust with your money. But from there, once that's all done and the fund is launched, like, we're ready to go. We're going to be raising capital for it, and at the same time, we're going to start reviewing hotel deals. Now, a lot of people are probably familiar with seeing the deal first. A lot of people will go out and find a hotel and find a deal and then present the deal to investors and say, hey, we can buy this hotel at this price. This how much money I need, and this is what I'm expecting to be the returns and things like that. The reason we're raising the capital first before presenting the deal is because we want to take the advantage of having the capital on hand to deploy, because they now gives us different ways of acquiring the asset, right? So if you just grab the deal, it's usually a traditional way, right? You find, even if it's the owner of the hotel or a broker, and they find it. But now, if we raise the capital first, we can take advantage of auctions, buying hotels for pennies on the dollar. We could take advantage of someone selling a portfolio of hotels. We could take advantage of someone looking to do seller financing, but looking for a larger down payment to get that done. The Fed just announced that they're dropping the interest rate by 50 basis points, right? When things like that happen, you want to be able to have cash on hand, because now the demand's going to go up, and then the prices of the hotel are going to go up. So you want to be able to jump in and say, hey, I got the money now. That's what someone's selling. Think about if you were selling your house, right? Do you want someone who's going to say, hey, I have the down payment money now, but give me a little 10% off? Or you want to hear from someone who says, hey, I'm going to buy this hotel, give me 90 days to get the money. I'm going to go with the guy who has the money now to give me. So that's why we decided to take the option fund. And we also want to be able to be able to buy more than one asset. That way we can cover different targeted clientele. So, depending on the economy, a transient hotel can be more lucrative than an extended stay, and in a down economy, an extended stay hotel could be more profitable than a transient hotel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Definitely. So if nobody else gonna ask, I'm gonna ask. What does 50 basis points mean?
Oh, 50 basis point is 0.5%. I don't know why they use that terminology like that, but it's like 0.50, so 50 basis points.
Gotcha. Okay.
All
right.
Write that down.
No, definitely. Got to, man. That's why we're here, right? We're all learning together. Definitely. So as we kind of wrap up this part, man, you mentioned 3 words that define your business practices. Do you remember them?
Yeah, it should be integrity, transparency, and execution, right?
My man.
You had me nervous. Like, what?
Like, shit. You said, what am I doing this week? Like,
all right. If
got me
there
out here
was
like I'm running for office, what do you want to hear?
So if there was one of these that, it's like, Ramel, these are 3 very difficult pillars for me to apply. Which one do you think would be a key driver for someone to start with?
I'd say execution. Everything's all good if we're making money, right? If the money's coming in, I'm not saying you don't care if I'm being transparent or have integrity, but you're going to ask a lot less questions, right? That's how if the money's coming in, it's like, it's all good. Winning is the best deodorant, right? So I would say execution is probably what you should concentrate most on. Other things are going to come, and you'll be forced to be transparent. You should just have integrity as a person in general, but execution will mask a lot of other shortcomings that you may have.
Gotcha. All right, appreciate it.
Before we I think we wrapped up the investment stuff pretty good, man. I wanna pick your brain on the other side of the court, or the field, so to speak. When we last spoke, you were a big Giants fan, and hey, it was a young season. You know what I'm saying?
Before you start, I'm doing good on my fantasy for right now. So,
okay. Fantasy's a plus. Oh man, I had you here. I had to ask, as a fan, longtime fan, what's one thing that the Giants would need to change to turn it around immediately?
One thing,
Just one.
You know what? One thing that would change things immediately is a better pass rush. You know, a better pass rush. These when we play these games, these quarterbacks have too much time. Like they're back there. You know, I'm watching my quarterback damn near run for his life for 3 years, and when we play people, you know, quarterback he's dropping back. He's looking deep, saying, nah, he's not open. Looking at the check down, say, you know what? I could probably do better than that. You know, he's looking at 3 or 4 receivers before he decides to throw the ball. And no, you know, in this day and age, these receivers are too good. You're not gonna hang with a receiver for more than 3 seconds in the NFL. So I mean, and that's been, you know, being a Giant fan as long as I've been. That's always been the key to our success. Pass rush, from Lawrence Taylor to JPP, like Michael Strahan, like you go get the quarterback, you win. That's bottom line. Everything else you can work with. You know, we went to the Super Bowl with Kerry Collins, right? So I know people probably want to throw out Daniel Jones with the recycles, but at
least the paper goods.
The pass rush, pass rush is key, man. That's the most important thing.
All right. That's fair enough.
As far as quarterback talk, I'll leave the Giants alone, man. We'll reconvene around week 10. We'll see where they at. But
you know.
But keeping the quarterback talk for a second. Last week, I think it was on Thursday night game. Tua from Miami. He was having a bad game already. Threw 3 intos. But hey, you saw him put his heart on the line. He's trying to do everything he could, but unfortunately, he suffers his 3rd concussion in the NFL, 4th total for his football career. As an old, I'm sorry, not old. Let me correct my phrase. As a former quarterback. I'm gonna be on
one of those commercials like with Dan Marino where he put the glasses on the wristband.
He said, "Let me tell you what I would do, sir." Like, oh man! But at this time in his life, he's still young. He might still have a career in front of him. But from a past quarterback, how would you think it would be wise for him to hang it up?
I know he probably doesn't want to, because I know he probably feels he has a lot more to accomplish, a lot more to prove. But his concussions, it's not just that he's getting them; they look bad when he gets them. Like his whole body seizes. Like it's not like he just looks like he's out of it, or you got to kind of like really look at him to see if he got concussed. Like he's concussed. Like you're seeing him, and you're like, yeah. I would if I was the Dolphins, I wouldn't let him play again. I just I wouldn't want that on my conscience. I wouldn't want that on my head. I understand you want to win and all that stuff. With those wide receivers, get Brady to come back. You in the playoffs, right?
Brady get the job done right from the booth.
Yeah, you could put a lot. You could put a lot of quarterbacks in that situation and get some success with that offense and those receivers as far as a team. But him, especially the reaction to the concussions, his brain is scrambled. Like
gotta be.
As soon as it happened, I have like a fantasy football group chat. As soon as it happened, I first thing I tell you, his career is over. Like it needs to be over. That's the first I did it right away. His career is over. Like just unfortunately,
If he was having a great game before that happened, I'd have been willing to give it a go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, give him 3-4 weeks, let him get his, get his worth all back and see what he can do. But it was a 3 interception game before that happened. I'm just like, God. It's like, you know what I'm saying? There's no wins here tonight. 0.
I mean, if it just didn't look so bad, like, he got his bell wrong. It happens. He sit out a couple of weeks, and but just his concussions just look so bad. Yeah, you just
Yeah, you get worried about his life after football. You know what I mean? Like if he wants to have any type of healthy life, remember his memories of when he played football, be able to enjoy life and enjoy his family, have his faculties about him. Yeah, definitely need to think about that. Yes, sir. All right, man. Anything else sports while we got Ramel? I know he's ready to go to bed on us. We appreciate you though, man. Staying up.
Plus we got nothing crazy. Just for those that
I got
that
one
are in
thing.
the know.
I have one thing that I saw today that made me very happy. My boy Eli Manning nominated for the NFL Hall of Fame. I've been telling people he's a first ballot. He's been arguing with me for years.
Yeah.
Felt elite without Eli. That boy
beat the goat twice. Like you can't deny him.
And all the Giants fans that hated on Eli all those years, I bet you wish you had him now. I bet you wish you had Eli Manning right now.
As a fact. Shouts to Eli, man. That's the fact. He beat the goat twice though. Like he might have 2 of the most prestigious Super Bowls in a history. Yeah, like he might have the top 2 in a long time. That's a fact.
Listen, you know what I mean? I don't want to take over, but you know what made me like Eli so much is that it wasn't even the Super Bowls, right? The 2 games that made me really like Eli. So I'll give you the one game, the San Francisco NFC Championship, and I think the Giants, they might have only scored 15 points, right? But San Francisco beat the hell out of him. I mean,
a lot.
And he kept getting up. He he had the grass and the helmet.
That shoulder fix. He got to keep fixing.
He kept fixing his jersey. The helmet was getting up, and he kept getting up. And at that moment, I said, "That's a man right there. That's
a man's man. That's a
man right there. Like if you can't follow that guy into battle, then you don't deserve to be on the battlefield. That's a man right there. And that's that's what I was like. That's what I said. Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, it's like you said, man. I mean, what was Jay's line, right? We'll see what happens when I no longer exist. And the Giants are here just going through it.
Been missing them since. I don't know a good quarterback since.
They went and tried to get a clone.
It ain't work out.
Six pick, man. I think I tried to tune into every ESPN analyst show just to say maybe I missed something.
He's trash. He's just trash right now. The stats aren't good. When you're 28th, 29th, and 3rd in the league and certain things, just like, you know what I mean? You'll get your hey, you're a great guy, but right now against your competition, you're real low on the chart. You know
what's bad though? Like when he's good, you're like, wow, like okay, I see it, right? But when he's not good, it's like, what are we doing here? And he's had more not good than good, so it's like
it's crazy. You know what really lets you know it's bad when you watch NFL Red Zone and you don't see the Giants at all. Like that's when you know things are bad. Like it was
about an hour and a half into Scott. It was about an hour and a half in. I'm like, hey, the Giants game on? I didn't see one.
Yeah, like that hurts, man. Like I'm looking at my parlay. I'm like, they not moving.
Yeah.
Didn't score a touchdown. That's bad.
So we don't have no reason to put you on red zone. That was sad.
That's a fact.
Oh man.
That's a fact.
Speaking of
SB
red zone,
Shutdown
and
said,
like
SB Shutdown said Gettleman messed that up. Eee.
hey, I'm happy we didn't have Saquon for that third down, all right? They lost, not for nothing. Like they always say, hey, teams lose games. We understand that. Hey, we all take this brunt on our shoulders as a team when we lose. This is the first game I could be like, listen, all the plays that added up. This play lost you out the fucking game, right? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I hate to put it on one player, but it really was you.
I'm sure when they watched film, there was a lot of things they could have said, "Oh, we could," but yeah, that right there, that was the game. That was.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what?
man.
You know what killed me on Sunday, man? The Saints, man. They straight oxtailed like the Dallas Cowboys, man. It was a slow cook. It was a slow pressure cook, and it was just like it just didn't stop, man. Like there was no hope.
The Saints are playing like they know the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year. And they said Lil Wayne ain't gonna make it, but we're gonna be there.
Oh, listen, I know we're talking about sports, right? But y'all ain't saying nothing about 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yo, that's on the docket.
It's on the docket.
We put that on the late night. We can move that up right now, B. I was just telling people, like, listen, Kendrick is really the boogeyman out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he watched a song that said, "Watch the party die" the same week Puff got caught up. Oh God, it's deep. It's deep. But for the feds to say out loud, for the world to hear, say, "Yeah, we confiscated 1,000 bottles of lube." Like I don't even think we needed to know all that.
I seen a meme. The internet is beyond undefeated. Like it's death taxes in the internet. And I seen a meme that said Johnson & Johnson hate to see this man coming.
Yo, he clearing them out. Clearing out racks at CVS, bro. In all my days, I've never gone to somebody's house to see more than one bottle of baby oil ever. Like it's always just one bottle. You don't even run out. It lasts like 18 to 24 months. A bottle. Average use.
Like I remember, and I'm gonna age myself. I remember Caldor, and my mother every Sunday, man, just used to stock up on paper towels. I don't think we ever had 1,000 rolls of paper towels ever in our lives. To have 1,000 bottles of lube, bro, that's crazy.
I don't think I got 1,000 sheets of copy paper. Like,
and that's stuff you need. For the feds,
and they come
to put it in their docket.
Yo,
that's wild. Yo, like, all right, here's my question. I'm like, let's say 5 days ago, before the feds really came down, like, Puff was just outside acting like there was no issue. Like, if you see him on the street solo, are you stopping for the flick? Like, yo, Puff, it's just you out here. Like, want to take a quick flick? Like, are you stopping for the Puff flick these days?
Probably not.
I am. I'm sorry.
You say making more money, more problems. Oh shit, yo, that's Puffy outside. Yeah,
I can see it now. Yo, bro, you was out there with Puff.
You said no party though. It was just on the street.
No
question. Oh shit!
It wasn't like that.
Oh no!
Just shake your hand. Your hand kind of moist, bro. Like what's going on?
Puff had the softest hands his whole life. It was terrible out there, bro. It was terrible.
Oh man, so much chafing babies out there because Puff got all the lotion. That's crazy.
All the lube, yeah.
Oh, Lord,
it's getting nasty though. Like I saw in the news, he put his house up for the bail, and they still denied him. I mean, he paid it off on purpose, and they still denied him. Like, yo, it's nasty, man. It's nasty for him. It's not looking good. I don't see any up from this
situation.
Indeed. Oh man, nasty.
Oh man,
so many questions, but I'm scared of the answers. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't even want to hear no more. It's just getting gradually worse.
I'm so nervous.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I mean, never mind.
Nah, hey, we here for it, man.
No.
He said my sponsors, my sponsors.
He said off camera.
Yeah.
No problem, man. All right, Kenny, you had anything else?
Nah, that's it. That's all I got on Puffy, man.
Gotcha.
He's been a bad boy his whole life. But yeah, man. Puff,
yeah. Any last words you want to leave the people with, Ramel?
Just stay tuned. More things coming along, and your opportunity to start making some passive income be offered to you soon.
Excellent, man. Excellent. So we appreciate Ramel coming on. Just remember, if you're tuning in from any platform, make sure you follow us, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you head over to YouTube. Check out episode 91, Beyond Business. So many gems, so many jewels. And like Ramel said, the opportunity is there. It's just up to you to choose when you want to take advantage of it, man. Ra, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Oh man, that was good. That was really good.
He's always good for a few gems, man. Every time.
Big facts. All right, man. Let's jump into these questions, man. Shout out to those still sticking around with us. That was a great conversation with Ramel. So, first question I got for everybody, man. But you know what I'm saying, Kenny? You got a good relationship with your boss, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Feel like, all right. So say your boss asks you get them a Uber, you know what I mean? And costs a pretty penny, right? It's like $90, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a good amount of money. Right. So now you agree to this because y'all have that good relationship, right? And they'll pay you back. It's good. Mm-hmm. Like a week, 2 go by. Ain't nothing hitting you on Zelle. You know what I'm saying? He ain't come to you, you know what I'm saying, give you no money. Are you asking him for your money back or are you gonna leave it alone?
Going straight to payroll, reimbursable. Hey man, listen, I paid for the bosses last week. This is a receipt on that. Make sure that's in my next weekly pay. Appreciate it. I'm not even going. I might take it out enough if you want. If that's not in the check, it's gonna be a big fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting that down as a company expense. Fuck all that. But what you doing in this case? You pressing the situation a little differently? What you doing?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ask him. Because my boss is a real stickler for making sure that he doesn't owe you money. So I think I would get it as soon as he gets home or as soon as he gets access to anything to give me the money back. But I don't think I'd ask him because I got a good relationship with my boss. A lot of times go out and I've never had to spend a dime. So I think we'll go out. All right. I got another question for you, man. And this is of course for anybody still hanging with us. Birthday clubs. Are you a part of any birthday clubs?
I'm not really sure what a birthday club is.
All right. So no, hey, that's fair. That's fair, right? It doesn't exist in every company. So what tends to happen in companies, there are teams that get together and it's like, oh, we got like 8, 9 of us. Every month, they'll open the separate chat with, just the people who don't have the birthday and be like, hey, it's such and such birthday, we're collecting, whatever. Now, this thing goes around every year for everybody that's a part of the team, right? So the other day, and I love it. I'm not saying I have an issue with it, but I've thought about it and I'm like, if you got a big enough team, right? Let's say it's like 15 of y'all. This birthday club is slowly turning into a bit of a susu because we got more people joining. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, are people tracking what you're giving? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you usually give let's say $30, right? I know some people are like, what the fuck, $30? But let's say you're giving $30 consistently, but it's a slow month. And you're like, I got 20. You know what I mean? What if the person that usually collects the money hits you like, hey, hey Jeff, I saw this time around you only gave $20. We usually give $30. You're messing with the consistency. What are you saying to this employee?
Oh man. blood in, blood out, man. You either gonna pay this stipend or gonna get on with your life, man. We don't need you if you're not gonna pay the fee. That's all. I mean, everybody pays 30 to get in this club, dog. I can't look the other way because it's you.
So here's the thing, though. Not everybody doesn't know what everybody gives, right? You know what I mean?
So how did they know about the dub?
That's what I'm saying. That's what, because they track it. If it's one person who collects, they track what everybody gives every time, right?
Okay.
So say you've got a consistent amount that you've always met, but then all of a sudden this month you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I still want to give, but I can't give what I usually give.
Listen, I blame it on inflation. I'm like, listen, I had extra lunch this month. Sorry about that. I'll get you guys next month. I hope I could.
No, I feel you. I mean, it's purely voluntary, right? You know, nobody has to be a part of this stuff. It is what it is. All right, got you.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on the socials there's this thing called ungifting. It kind of took me for a little bit. I wasn't sure what that was. To us older folk, ungifting these days is what they call it for the modern name. But you remember the old term being an Indian giver, so to speak, as if you're giving a gift to someone and then taking it back. You know what I mean? Yeah. But these days they call it ungifting. But the purpose of this was people were trying to see if there was a cutoff dollar amount, whether it be between your relationship with your partner or even amongst peers, where if you give a gift of a certain value, and things don't work out between you, like, you know, the friendship goes sour, whatever the case may be, are you allowed to ask that gift back if it was over a certain dollar amount? Like, is there a dollar amount that you would have that go, yo, that was such and such, I'm gonna need that back. This thing that we had ain't working no more. Like, is there a number for you?
Man, listen, depending on how we break up and my petty level, I'll take the batteries out the remote, dog. Like, it don't matter. It depends on how I spend $6.99 on these AA batteries, bitch. These shit's coming home with me.
He said, I'm here for all them AA's, bitch.
Like, straight up, bro, straight up. Like, if we break up on some messed up shit, I'm taking everything, man. I'm taking all that shit back.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, what about you?
Like, you know, like if things went sour, you know, like the $50, $75 hoodie I might have left. Hey, man, chalk it up to the game. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But, like, that's something crazy. Like, I don't know. I would have anything over, like, $650. I'm going to have to look at you funny. But yeah, like, I'm like, listen, that was a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even want it. It was a gift. Like, I'm gonna need that back. Like, you know what I mean? Anything over that threshold, I might look at you twice about. I'm gonna have to talk about it.
Got you. Yep.
All right. My man taking the batteries. All right.
That's it. It's like good luck changing the channels.
Oh shit. Hey, at least he took the battery. You could have cut all the cords. Anything next to the outlet, just yeah, fuck your TV. Keep the remote.
This is true. Man.
All right, you got anything else for the people on a Wednesday night, my good man?
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I know, you know, life be life, and man, everybody's going through everything. But I think every day we get up, we try and make it a little better. We try to, you know, really just tap in and you know, put one foot in front of the other. We appreciate you for always supporting us. And for everybody who checked out the episodes so far, we appreciate you. Subscribers, we appreciate you. Everybody on the live right now, we appreciate you, man. And listen, man, just keep on doing your thing, man. God will take care of the rest.
Yes, sir.